Hi you guys, welcome back to video number 2 of our science class. Today is still Wednesday, April 1st, and we're going to continue with science doing and talking about muscles this time. We talked about the skeleton before, and actually you guys may be wondering which that snake was. Remember the snake that can eat bones and teeth? It would be this one. This is called a python snake. Now the image is rather small. This is the skeleton of that python. It's really huge, and it expands as it swallows its prey. Here's another picture, and here is the last picture that I have for this. It looks kind of small here, but it's actually a very huge snake. Okay, now in this time we're going to learn about how our skeletons have muscles attached to them, and that muscles contract in order to make bones move, and that muscles work in pairs. Okay, let's start by reading over here where it says a nose like an elephant's. An elephant has a strong, flexible nose. You've all seen it. It's one of the most emblematic parts of the animal. It has over 40,000 muscles in it. All these muscles mean the elephant can pick up a delicate flower or lift a huge log. The trunk, which is how we call the nose of an elephant, can also touch, grasp, suck, spray, smell, and strike. So imagine all the things that an elephant can do with its trunk. It's one of the most essential parts of the elephant aside from its rather large ears. Now, listen closely. How do our muscles work? Well, our muscles are really our motors, our engines, okay? Without our muscles, if we only had bones, then we wouldn't have anything to help us move those bones. We can stay rigid with our bones, but we need our muscles to move them. So, let's see. One of the first things that your skeleton does is your skeleton gives protection and support. That's one of the most important things that a skeleton of the human body does. And not only the human body, but animals too. Now, the muscles are the motors of your body. Muscles are connected to your bones by tendons. A joint is where two bones meet, like your elbow or your shoulder. Remember that we were talking about that last class, what joints are? So let's take a look over here. This is a joint. Okay, in this case, this is a hinge joint, which you find in your elbows, in your knees, in your fingers, which are also ones that move in order for you to grab things. You have joints. You have joints here, you have joints here, and you have joints here. So you have 3 joints there. Your wrist is also a joint. Your elbow is a joint. Okay. So, the way that it works is you have the bones here, but bones are very hard structures. And when you hit 2 things together, they would be very rigid and not very easy to move 2 things that are together, unless you have some kind of foamy structure, which would be the cartilage, which is a softer, more flexible bone-like structure, okay? And covering and around it would be the tendons and how they connect your muscles. Now the ligament and the cartilage is this little level of structure. I'm going to zoom in a lot more on that now. You see this white part, this is cartilage. Okay, it's very tightly around your bones. What other cartilage structures do we have? Your nose, your ears are cartilage structures, okay, on the inside, of course. Now, inside of that cartilage, you have ligament, okay? And what's connecting your bones with the muscles are the tendons, okay? All right. This is just a general overview. Now, when the muscle contracts, it pulls on the tendon. When you lift something heavy, you can feel how your muscles tighten up. That's called contract. And when you flex them and you touch them, you can feel how they are hard. That's why they're contracted. Okay. This pull on the bone to make it move. Muscles can pull, they can contract. They cannot push, only relax. So muscles have the contracted way, and when you lower your arm, they just relax. It's not tense from in and out. When I relax my arm, my bones aren't stretching and my muscles aren't stretching rigidly. They're relaxing and letting things be nice and soft when they're not doing anything. Now, we need two muscles at each joint. One pulls in one direction and the other pulls in the opposite direction. As one pulls, the other relaxes. They work in pairs. That's what they mean when they work in pairs. Now, for example, if I want to flex this, my finger, and I flex it, the inside bone, the inside muscles of my finger contract and the outside relax, and the opposite happens when I do the opposite action. Okay? This might be a little hard to understand, but let's try to get the full idea, the general idea. Contract and relax. When you move down your forearm, up and down at the elbow, so this is your forearm, this part here, up and down at the elbow like this, you have two sets of muscles that are working. Put your hand on your upper arm. When you lift it, you can feel this muscle. Oh. And here, they are relaxed. If I do the opposite thing, my triceps, which are at the bottom of my arm, behind my elbow, they are relaxed. Sorry, they are contracted, and these are relaxed. So they work in pairs. One of them relaxes while the other one is working or contracted. While the other one is contracted, the other relaxes. They do like teamwork, but for muscles. Where are there other pairs of muscles in your body? So we know that they work in pairs when there are joints. And we know that joints are in your fingers, your wrist, your shoulder, your knees, your ankles. Think about that one. Now, let's a little deeper, okay? Let's look at caterpillars. If you watch a caterpillar moving across some paper, and you'll notice that it has over 2,000 muscles in its body. And a caterpillar is about this big. We have only 600. And look how big we are. Does a caterpillar have a skeleton? That's a question for you. You have to investigate. Does a caterpillar have a skeleton? You're going to describe how a caterpillar moves and how do their muscles contract and relax. Finally, we're going over this did you know section. Did you know you need 72 muscles to speak a single word? Oh my God, where do you think those muscles are? It takes 17 facial muscles to smile, but 42 to frown. So smiling is definitely a lot easier. The hairs on your body help to trap heat. Each hair is attached to a tiny muscle. It makes the hair stand on end when you're cold. Some people call this muscle contraction goose pimples or goose skin. I'm sure it's happened to you before. It also happens when we get afraid. Okay, kids. Additional to this, I have sent you a worksheet that you have to do and answer in your notebook. Remember that if you have any questions, I am here. Contact me via email, or we'll see each other tomorrow at Zoom class where we can discuss the things that you're not understanding. Bye, kids.